The 2025 DC Defenders are playoff bound. For the second time in the franchise's history and their first time in UFL history, they have clinched a playoff berth. Yes, it's a big deal. Last year, of course, they ended up choking pretty much the entire midpoint of the season where they ended up missing the playoffs after finishing an incredible 9-1 in 2023 in the XFL, where they did eventually lose in the championship game to the Renegades. But this year, they're back. Now, this team, it's been a weird season. This team's defense has basically been falling off a cliff ever since week 4. They've had the first 3 games, they looked really solid, and it's been getting worse and worse. Now, the other end of that is the offense, minus the game against Michigan, has been looking better and better every week. They had a great first quarter against Michigan, and while the rest of the game was horrific, the next 2 weeks were Te'amu's best 2 weeks of the season, which has led to Te'amu being an MVP frontrunner. But it doesn't matter because they cannot get the home field advantage no matter what. This is a big blow for DC. Again, just like with the USFL side, the home field advantage is already set in stone. Audi Field is not able to host a game. So while Te'amu is playing his ass off the last couple weeks and trying to get this team's wins to win the conference, it doesn't matter. The game will be set in St. Louis. This is a big blow. While DC hasn't been necessarily as insane of a crowd the last couple years, last week it was looking like it was back in 2023 and 2024. Yet, this one hurts. Them not getting home field advantage for this game is a big deal. Now, while they still have to earn that if they were to be able to have it, the fact they can't even earn it is a big deal. But, as alluded to, Te'amu has been playing incredible this season, so it might not matter. Now, Te'amu for the first, let's say, 5 weeks of the season was viewed as an MVP candidate undeservedly. He basically was just throwing the ball a ton of times. The defense was getting a ton of takeaways every game, giving him extra drives, and he was just throwing it deep. Inaccurately, just throwing it deep. But the last couple weeks have been a bit different. The defense isn't getting as many takeaways, but Te'amu is becoming a more accurate passer. Through about 6 weeks, he was averaging about a 48 completion percentage. So yes, while 53.6 is still a really bad number, the fact that he's improved it by about 5% in just 2 weeks shows that he's been becoming a more accurate passer. Another thing, his interceptions. The biggest issue with Te'amu historically is his turnovers problem while throwing. 2022 with the Bandits, horrible with the ball and protecting it. 2024, horrible with the ball and protecting it. But this year, he's been solid with that. Again, early in the season, it was bad. Now, as an overall quarterback, is Perkins better? Yes. But Te'amu has been clearly the second best quarterback in the league and is getting hot when it matters. Then you have Chris Rowland. While he's made a couple mistakes here and there, overall, he still is the most impactful player on this Defenders team, more so than Te'amu. His ability to get yardage on pretty much any way, whether it be returning, receiving, or hell doing end-arounds, is incredible. Now, this team's overall yards per game and offense is the best in the league. But their defense and their rushing attack are both big weaknesses. Their defense, again, is at this moment the weakest in the league. The fact is the last pretty much 4 weeks, it has just been a train wreck of a unit. They'll make big plays. Joe Wallace will get a couple of sacks. Malik Fisher will force a fumble. But as an overall unit, it has been the worst of the past few weeks. Now, on the season, it's obviously San Antonio. But remember, San Antonio allowed a ton of points the first 2 weeks of the season, yet are now tied with DC. It's a big blow for DC's chances in the playoffs. Now, their third down percentage is still really good. And again, the games against Arlington are probably what this team is going to have to do in the playoffs. Against teams like Birmingham, Michigan, and St. Louis, they're going to have to be able to put up 30 points a game to win. Again, we saw what Duggan and that offense ended up putting up against a Birmingham defense, which is a much better unit than DC. So against DC, we'll see. All I know is DC is going to be a fun team to watch in the playoffs. They're not going to be playing great football in a sense of good defense and solid offense. It's going to be a really high-powered offense minus the ground game against a really weak defense, meaning it's probably going to be a high-scoring game. But overall, that'll do it for DC. They are playoff bound. Again, the fourth and final team that we are discussing this week in regards to clinching a playoff berth and the fourth and final team overall in the season. Be on the lookout for the Renegades. Missed the playoffs video. That's a good one. And as always, guys, have a great night.
Thank y'all for coming out, DC fans. We clinched. See y'all in 2 weeks, man. Go Defenders.